So I'm calling first on, invite the representative of the women's group.
Thank you. I'm Racherla from Arrow, representing Women's Major Group and HLPF. The Agenda 2030 cannot be achieved without a shared commitment to address the social justice and issues of poverty and its multidimensional characteristics such as hunger, malnutrition, lack of education, landlessness, gender inequality, and universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights. We are confronted with a development agenda, but this does not address the structural and systemic barriers which endangers women and girls' integrities and challenges biodiversity and sustainability of environment. So how do we lift people, especially women and girls, out of poverty? This actually needs a very comprehensive approach. How do we actually ensure equal rights and access to resources and services, including land, water, seeds, forest, housing, livelihoods, food and health services, including sexual and reproductive health and rights of women? How do we reform the monetary and financial and trade regimes that perpetuate inequalities and result in violence and undermining of women's and girls' rights? How do we direct public investments towards sectors in which the poor work, like the agriculture, areas in which they live, such as in the rural and urban slums, factors of production that they possess, mostly unskilled labor, and outputs that they consume, mostly food? How do we enable legitimize the government control over flow of finances and international trade? How do we enhance public investments in health, including sexual and reproductive health and rights, education, and other social services, and ensure universal access regardless of gender, socioeconomic status, citizenship rights, age, ethnicity, caste, geographic location, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, marital status, HIV, migration and refugee status, and other status? How do we ensure regulation and accountability of the private sector, including in services, technology, insurance, health, land, and food? How do we stop the onslaught of corporate land grabbing and forced eviction of communities, especially farming communities and indigenous people? How do we repeal laws and policies that criminalize, punish, and marginalize specific groups of women and based on their gender, on their caste, on their marital status, sexual orientation, gender identity, and other status, and erect barrier to essential services? Addressing structural and systemic barriers and actually concretely addressing the questions that I just raised, that will actually be the way forward to lifting people out of poverty, especially women and girls. Thank you.